Hello, I'm Ian Nash from Nash Jingles, and today I'm your special host for On the Couch. And today I'm in the driver's seat and I'm interviewing regular host John Vogel on his bass guitar. It's an Ibanez Acoustic. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, always great to be back. It's a little bit strange sitting on the other side of the fence, but
Yes, you're on the passenger side
on
today.
the passenger side today. That's exactly right.
Tell us about your acoustic bass.
Yeah, look, it's a funny story behind it. For those that want to know, it's an Ibanez AEB10 acoustic bass. 4-string bass, comes with your full electrics plus a tuner, so you can play it as an electric or plug it in as an acoustic electric, or it is just a straight acoustic bass. Now, I guess the funny story behind this is this is the first bass I bought after 20 odd years of not playing, and I decided to get back into it. Yeah. So my wife talked me into buying basses, and for those of you that follow the channel and have watched the review on my BC Rich Eagle, you may well have heard the story. Because at the time I decided to get back into playing bass in a serious way, and I thought, well, an acoustic bass seems like a good place to start. Then you don't have the added expense of buying an amplifier and leads, and you can just take it with you if you go into a campsite or around to an open mic night or a mate's place. So I found this on eBay and I threw a bid on it because it appealed to me. And then later that night I was faffing around on eBay or Evil Bay a little bit further, and I discovered the BC Rich Eagle, which being a big heavy metal sort of BC Rich fan, I thought, so I thought, you know what, I'll throw a bid on the Eagle, and I'd be lucky I'd be lucky to, if I'm lucky I'll get one of them, and if I'm normal I won't get either, and away we go. Lo and behold, within about 3 or 4 hours of each other, I won both guitars.
So what did you have to sell? Daughter,
yeah, second mortgage on the house, second job. So I went and picked this up. I actually got it locally, this one, about 2 hours drive from here. Came with a hard case, got it home. Now the funny thing is, unbeknownst to me when I got it, the electrics actually weren't working at all. They worked a bit and then they kind of died. So I went in and I had them professionally replaced through a local music shop. And ironically, in the end, by the time I added the two up, the cost of doing that and the cost of the bass guitar, I nearly could have bought one, the exact brand new.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's said...
That's the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah, and I ummed and ahed because, for acoustic purposes, you don't need all the electrics, but I'm just OCD. If I have something, I like it to work.
Sure.
So, it's in jet black. It has the sort of pearl, I guess, outer trim that's sort of faded a little bit. Binding, that's the word, thank you. Same along the neck to give it character. The fretboard we thought ebony. That's right. We thought it might be ebony.
It's got jumbo frets.
Jumbo frets. Yep. I imagine it's I really don't know, Ian. Medium scale, long scale.
No, it's long scale.
Long scale. Yeah.
What's unusual about it is that, and I've not seen a lot of acoustic basses in my time. I've got a uke bass, but this has got bronze strings on it. And I've never seen a bass with
bronze strings. Like I'm none the wiser. This is the strings that it came with.
And I suppose it makes sense that if you have an acoustic arrangement, you have phosphorus bronze strings to give you that sound.
That sound, yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be flat.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I'm not that technically proficient with my instruments. That you hear guys talk about using flat wound or round wound strings.
Or nickel wound.
Oh yeah, and I have. To me, a string is a string. I'm sort of at that end of the beginner scale. So obviously, bronze strings on an acoustic bass is something you don't see every day.
Well, like I said, I've got a uke bass, and I've got the normal nickel strings in it, and it sounds great to me.
And that's a standard string on an acoustic.
And it's a standard acoustic, and it's a standard string that you'd have on a normal electric bass. So to have a bronze string, it makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it.
Lovely. So, from the point of view of basses, like me, I guess if you're someone that's thinking of getting into it and you don't want to spend big money on a guitar, an electric bass, and then have to spend big money again or reasonable money on an amplifier, an acoustic has got to be a good option.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's some good brands of acoustics.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from Ibanez, and Ibanez make really nice guitars. I don't make no bones about that. But there's some really good intermediate market basses. You know, you've got, and a lot of them coming out of the South Korea and the Japanese factories, like the Mizumiku factories and all that stuff like that. But I mean, you know, Fender make a really nice acoustic bass. That's called the Kingman. That's really nice.
Look, another budget one that seems to be out there. Court is big on the bass. I think Dean has a few acoustic
Dean has
basses.
one, yes.
Tanglewood seems to be a good budget sort of.
And then of course you've got the big brands. Taylor, they make awesome, both in a Traveller, the Mini. Guild make a really nice acoustic bass as well. So you know you can buy around that. I mean, we're talking Australian dollars here. That $700 to $1,000 market, and you can get a name brand that comes out of the Southeast Asian factories. But I mean, they make a high quality. I mean, some of those guitars and basses are just to die for.
Well, looking around on the internet recently at the price of basses, some of those Tanglewoods and even some of the cheaper Ibanez's are even cheaper again. You know, 400, 500. And
that's great for that beginners market.
And particularly if you're not sure. You know, it's a sort of thing where you can say, well, I can spend 400, and if I decide it's not for me,
you'll probably get your money
sell it. You'll get your money back, or most of it. You know, rather than
another one. We at Nash Jingles shop, we resell artist guitars, and they make an acoustic bass. And I tell you what, we've sold on a bunch of those little suckers. And I tell you what, they are great value for money.
And I know you're particular about guitars. I mean, you just got to look at your collection and a couple of the guitars I've bought off you. So, you know, if it wasn't a good quality, good value proposition, you wouldn't be selling them. So again, reach out to Ian if you're in the market for not just a bass, but for anything that's quality at price. You know, you can't go too wrong. Look, I know years ago, being a Gene Simmons Kiss fan, he played an acoustic bass when they did. Back in the 90s, there was a run of MTV was doing acoustic shows. He had
Unplugged.
The Unplugged series. He had a thin body acoustic that was made by Kramer.
Oh yes, that's right.
Now I don't know if that particular model or whether Kramer are still doing acoustic basses, but there's another
brand.
Another brand. So. For me, it's just a good all-round guitar. As I said, you know, without the expense of buying amps and leads. If you just want something to try to see whether it's your thing, it's a guitar you can just pick up and take with you down to mates. If you're going around for a barbecue, sit out the back. You don't have to lug amps and power cords.
No, that's good.
If you're going camping, you know, someone always brings an acoustic six-string and starts strumming. How often do you see someone whip out an acoustic bass and join in?
Not normally.
Not normally. Well, there you go.
So, in the Vogel Scale of 1 to 10,
the Vogel Scale. Look, from playability, it's nice to play. The sound is good. The quality is good. I'd have to give it a 9.5 because not only is it just a nice guitar to play, it's nice and light. You've got the electrics. It's just the versatility from plugging in and going electric to just picking it up and sitting somewhere quietly and comfortably at a good price. You know, it's just a great all-round guitar, particularly if you're starting out from a beginner's point of view.
Right.
But look, even then, if I was doing studio work and I wanted an acoustic sound,
that's the one.
I wouldn't hesitate to pull this out and use it. So, great all-round town. I was going to give it 9, but honestly, I think 9.5. You can do so much with it.
Well, that's good.
It's a great guitar.
Okay, John. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Mate, thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Back in the driver's seat.
And don't forget to hit subscribe and like. And we'll come back at you soon with another episode. Nash Jingles on the couch.
See you next time. Cheers.
See ya.